Hello, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. I'm going to try some Factorio out today. I'll see how it works. Uh, Before we get in here too far, I want to go through. I have lots and lots of mods loaded, but I'm actually stripped most of my mods out. Um, Basically, I left the Factorio library, standard library in. I left pump in because it makes things faster. Power comb, uh, squeak through because it's nice. And updated construction drones. I stripped all my other mods out, and the reason I did that is I kind of want to go more of a vanilla playthrough, and to kind of just get back to Factorio. We're gonna go new game. We're gonna go free play. We're gonna change from default to Rail World because I like Rail World. Rail. I can't speak today. It's hard. Um, then I'm going to take these things. I'm going to crank these up. This isn't really anything reason. I just like having a higher richness, so that I don't have to move things as quickly. It makes it a little bit, I can kind of focus more on building and having fun, and then gives me a little bit longer to set things up. We're gonna leave all this stuff the same. We'll get rid of cliffs because they're just a pain most times. We're gonna put the enemies in peaceful mode because I like doing that, and we're gonna take our starting area and we're gonna stretch it all the way out. It just gives you a larger starting area. Um, we'll leave all the other evolution alone. Then I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna change this to always. This allows you to stack up a couple of researches in a row instead of having to do all the ones in the very beginning, or to do them one at a time. Other than that, I'm gonna leave everything pretty much alone. And then we can go ahead and preview here, kind of look and see what the beginning is going to look like. If you want, you can kind of do that. You can do this a couple times and see if you can find something different, or more of a map that you're looking for. You know what? That one looks good. I like that. We got a bunch of water up here. We can put pretty much protected on one side at least. We'll start with that one. So, if you haven't played Factorio, uh, I don't know what to tell you. I've got about 2,000 hours in Factorio. I played a whole lot of Factorio. Um, the a- and part of the reason I started with those bots is so I can kind of do this. It doesn't. Why would it work on those? Come on. I am going to rip all of my blueprints out. I should have already ripped all my blueprints out. So I'm only going to use my game blueprints. I have those. I don't want to use them. I kind of have a rule when I build stuff, and especially with blueprints, especially with like when I play by myself, and I'm just having fun, and I'm just generally just building big crazy factories and stuff. I'll use blueprints from Nilos or from Catherine of Sky, or there's several other ones that I've used in the past. And I think if you want to use those blueprints, then there's they have channels you can go watch them use their blueprints. I try not to use their blueprints just simply because it just I don't know. I think if you're going to come to here and kind of hang out here for a little bit, then in the grand scheme of things, you're probably going to want to see, something different. We'll just do that. I do have a few construction bots to begin with, and a lot of that is just to help speed up the early game. It allows me to go through and build stuff a lot faster. Allows me to build or grab things that are on the ground a lot faster. Um, and just generally clear up things significantly faster than having to run around and whack each one of these, boxes 15 times. Uh, So we'll just let the bots kind of clear up for us, get us some ore and stuff, or get us some. Oh, did we already fill up? What's going on? No. Let's try that. Go pick that stuff up. So the I use the bots, especially in the beginning, just so that I have the ability to pick things up quicker. It allows me to kind of place some buildings faster. The initial building of stuff is a lot faster that way. Instead of me running around trying to do each one. There are other options. There's nanobots. There's a couple other ones that I've used in the past. The nanobots are good because they kind of they provide a cost to having to do it on overall time. But at the same time, this is pretty quick. Now, when it goes to blueprints, this isn't going to be a super optimal, like freaking best run ever, super build. If you're looking for that, I hate to tell you, but you're in the wrong place today, my friends. Um, the build some of these things. It's not like we won't need a bunch of them. But what I want to do is kind of build stuff from scratch. We will be using blueprints, but some of that is to try to get to build our own blueprints, and more importantly, work through the reason to build your own blueprints. Because as much fun as it is to go out and use blueprints, most of those only work in a vanilla game. And if you don't understand how to build blueprints in a vanilla game, then a lot of times when you start trying to get into the other games, Crestorio, Industrial Revolution, things like that, even the Warp Choreo, things like that, it makes it very difficult to be able to build your own because a lot of those don't exist. And when you really start getting down into a bunch of different things, it makes it really difficult to build that stuff. And this is a puzzle game at its heart. I'm going to. So what I did there is basically we'll do that. Well, control down. There you go. Take those. So basically, you hit Q, and it'll pick up the item that you're hovering above. There's a bunch of little things. So now I am not opposed to using mods in this game. This isn't a strictly vanilla playthrough. It's not a, oh my lord. If we have mods that we decide to pick up or we decide to use, then I'm perfectly fine with that, and I'm perfectly happy using them. I just if comment down in the comments if there's a mod you really would like to see, if you would like to see stuff going. I could probably be like banging my head against something, but yeah, I need to get enough of these things going. So the trick here is just try to get enough iron plates going so I can build enough smelters. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna take this guy, I'm gonna put that yellow one feeding down, feeding across, feeding up, and just hit R to rotate. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going here to this very first one. I need one piece of coal. We put one piece of coal in here, and basically that one piece of coal will give us like 5 or 6 pieces of coal out. Well, as soon as that piece of coal feeds, it feeds basically straight into this one. That one feeds into this one, that one feeds in, and then they just start feeding each other back in this crazy circle. So once that kind of gets going, then our coal for the most part is kind of fixed. We'll still have to go grab it for the time being, but it's at least started. Run back up here. We'll grab some more of this stuff. We'll build some more of these. Now, in the beginning, you don't need a lot of this stuff. Well, you'll need a lot more iron than you will of the other items here, just because that's just the way the game works. what we're gonna do is we're gonna put. We'll do 2. Why not? That's not what I wanted. All right, do that one. We're gonna do. And I really should be putting this stuff down here. So you can grab this stuff and drag it, drop it onto your bar. So that way, instead of having to open up my my thing, I can just push this and bring it up. This nice little bar here. We're gonna run down here. We're gonna hold down our control. We're gonna click, pick up a bunch of coal. So if you right click, it does like half the coal. And if you left click, it does a full stack. So that way we'll have some stone kind of coming in. Now fill that box up. If you need to, like this is going to fill this box completely up. If you don't want it to, you hit the red box here, kind of do that. We're going to leave some of this stuff kind of. I'm going to try to answer easier questions, or not easier questions, but try to answer some of the more basic stuff. Before and kind of cover some more of the basic things. Now, basically, what we want to do here in the beginning here with this guy is we don't have enough. So what we'll do is we're going to do this, and then we're going to go to this guy, and we're going to turn him like that. So what they'll do is that will start feeding across, and we basically allow us to get a lot more coal here. For the most part, you can rip all the coal out of here. So I just hold control and just kind of wiggle over all of them and pull all the coal out. Because the piece of coal that's burning at that time will keep burning. So you'll have should have at least one more piece of coal come out. And as long as you have one more piece of coal come out, for the most part, that's usually enough to kind of keep it going. And then we'll just kind of run around and stuff some back in here. We'll need to get some more of these things up here because you know what, that looks like a good number there. So the trick is to try to get as many of these things kind of start in the beginning. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, and there's faster ways to do this, but you need a lot of iron in the very beginning. Your buildings or your factories focused a lot on iron. Even though these patches aren't really as large as I'd like them to be. But some days that's just what happens. That do all those. Fortunately, we still don't have enough coal because that's just the the name of the game. So we'll do that. We got a little bit of coal, so we'll run up here. Oh, I guess I used all of it in there. That didn't help. We'll eventually get all that stuff kind of figured in. I could micromanage it and stuff around, but we're still okay. Oh, that. Get a little bit of copper. And then we're gonna need you know what, just do that. Turn all the copper into those. That'll be fine. We're gonna need copper, so we're gonna need power poles at near real soon. So do a little bit more cleanup, maybe get a little bit more coal there. You guys just aren't gonna pick up all that stuff, huh? Just gonna leave it on the ground. Too much for them to carry to come back, sit there. You know, You're just being like that. All right. Still not. I always get confused whether there's right or left to put stuff in there, but we'll get fine. We're gonna have lots of iron here in a minute. So now there's a couple of things I need. Next thing we need to do is start working on trying to get our power up and running. So what we want to do here is go ahead and look 10 of those. We don't have nearly enough of those, so we only have 3 of those. The power, all right, we need more electric circuits for those. That's fine. Just need 1 of those. We need a bunch more still for those. We need 1 of these. Build a bunch of those. And then what we're gonna end up doing is we'll get enough iron here in a second, and then we'll build us our first power plant. And there's a bunch of reasons, and there's a bunch of really intricacies to be able to do a bunch of these things. And there's a reason to do stuff, and there's a I don't want to say accept it. There's the meta, obviously, of how to do a bunch of these things in the game, and there's definitely some good stuff and some bad stuff that is I would say is considered to be done. That's 6 of them. I just need so much more iron. And honestly, building 20 of these things to begin with is probably a bit much. But can't do it big, then why bother doing it at all sometimes? Right. You are starting to bother. There. Just put that stuff up. Eventually all these will get full, and then I'll have way too much coal on me. That'll be great. That'll be glorious. Wait. Unfortunately, a lot of this game, and there's other things you can do if you're trying to do speed runs or stuff like that. There's things that you can do to make these things go a lot faster, to get a lot more. Like I'm sure, like I'm what 16 minutes, 18 minutes into this. Hell, there's probably guys that already get running around with trains. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run down here. We're going to try to find a location that works. Oh, I did not want to do that. Don't have. I'm not trying to pull fish out of the water yet. So what you need to do is find some place that's going to be fairly stable or fairly flat, and then we're going to go in. We'll grab our water pump, and you'll see all the little green spots here. This is where you can put your water pump. It doesn't matter like the amount of water that you're going to get from any one of these things is infinite. So it doesn't matter like if there was like one little spot here, or if there's you're pulling from this big lake. It's all the same. A water spot is a water spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this thing up so that way I'll pull water from it. What I like to do is I take this guy and I basically stretch it out as far as I can for that underwater pipe, which will basically allow me to put my pipe out as far as I can and allow me to get like a road or something through here. Not that I often use roads. Oh, I got 12 of these. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Now I have a lip up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this guy up. So I'm going to set up 2 of them. I'm going to skip a spot, and I'll set up 2 of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy, and you want to line these up. It doesn't matter which side the pin comes in. We're going to set up 2 of these for each one of these. Now, the reason is if you look here, it says consumes 30 a second, max temperature 165, right? And this thing produces 60 per second. So there's a reason. So basically, you need 2 of these to consume the stuff from one of those. If you look down here at the water pump, right, this produces pumping speed 1200 meters per second, right? This guy needs consume 60 per second, right? So that's why you're going to end up with 10 of them. And then the throughput of the pipes and stuff like that. So that's the reason this stuff ends up the way it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, do that, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this guy in here. I'm going to put him right in the middle. See, that guy's slightly out of my range. I hold down shift and hit control, and it'll basically put a ghost down and then send a robot after it, which is good. Makes my life a little bit easier. I'm gonna go here and find my pipe, which I've been using all of. Put my pipe in here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Control C, and I'm gonna grab all of that stuff just like that. I'm gonna do that, so that'll be 6, 8, 10. So that way we have 10 all the way out, and then we'll end up having all of our parts there. So that will be our entire little, basically the amount of power we can produce from one pump. And then ultimately what you can do is you can copy that entire thing. Once you build the first one, the trick with it is to kind of build your first one. And then it allows you to go through and build more very quickly. The trick with this game is to ramp up as fast as you can. And then once you're kind of ramped up, then you can make sure all these guys are filled up. And we're all filled up. So then we're going to take, we have 20, yeah, we only have 25 left. So I'm going to run down here with 25. Should have grabbed the ore out of there. So we'll go ahead, we're going to put in this guy down here. Put that in. So now we'll start producing steam. So now we actually have a little bit of electricity. Not a lot, just a little bit. Actually, I guess I could have already done that. Do that, do that. Build a few of those. By few, I mean all of them. We'll build, grab these out again, grab these out again. And so, unfortunately, in the beginning of the game, it's literally just some of the. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to grab the copper out of it. All right, so let's build all of those, and then need iron for those. Build those. All right, so we're going to start slowly working towards getting what we need to actually produce electricity on a regular basis, which will be greatly helpful. Produce both of those. Need more iron. Yep, need more iron. Produce all that. And in the beginning, there's a lot of building stuff. There is an achievement that you can get for going really slow. Well, not really slow, but for basically manually crafting everything, which is great. Or not manually crafting as little as possible. Which is, it can be done, but you have to be very, very picky. I think you have like 110 things or something that you could craft, and you have to craft like 106 or something. And if you basically, if you craft too many things, you're just hosed, and then you basically lose the achievement, and you'll end up getting to a point where you'll have to craft something manually, and you're not able to. We're gonna do this. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding left click and I'm running. So as I do that, I basically run that out. If I hold down shift, I'll actually start leaving the same thing as before. So I'll start leaving ghost prints. So that way, then my robots will decide that they want to go take care of things for me, which would be nice of them when they decide to do it. Oh yeah, I was holding all the parts. So now eventually, once they get enough parts, they'll go fill everything in for me. Wait, we'll get a couple of these guys. Do this, that, like that. Put a little bit of coal in that one. Let those guys speed up again. So eventually, you want to get to the part where you're doing all of these things automatic, so that way you're not having to walk around and hand carry coal to everything. But even like you saw with that, all I did was I basically highlighted it, Control X, basically cut. I delete all the items from that block, and then it gives me a blueprint on my clipboard, and then I can paste that somewhere else, which makes it a lot more easy to do things like that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here like this. And the green bar or the green highlight is where it's going to actually get uh, ore from. And so it's not just that. They'll actually go all the way out to here. So that way, when I run the road down here in a second, these guys will all come through like this. So then we are going to grab us a board like this guy. And the trick is to try to get these guys right here like that. And then just far enough out that they still connect. And then if you hold down the left click like that and just run, it will put the power poles at the maximum length that it can for them still to connect. So I'm just literally holding down left click and just running along the bar, and then it basically connects all these in. So now what will happen is that the one that we have going will start producing coal back here. Now the trick is we have to convince these guys that they want to also work. Put these guys in like this. And these are burner miner drills or burner. So what will happen is that the first pieces of coal that they get, they'll use to feed themselves, and then once they feed themselves, then they'll start loading stuff into the burners. So the reason, especially on your power plant, especially at the beginning, the reason you want to use those is because it's possible that I could run out of electricity before this coal gets to my power plant, because I only put like 25 coal in there. So since I only put 25 coal in here, it's possible. Yeah. So I'm at 8. It's really going to be really close. So what can happen is with the burner inserters, they'll grab coal. So as long as there's coal there, they'll grab coal to feed themselves, and then start feeding the circuit. Whereas if I didn't do it that way, Like if it had taken just a little bit longer, we'd had to bootstrap again. So now once you'll see that they'll load themselves, then they start loading. We're good. So we got lots of power now. We'll be going great. We'll be going good. So now with that, we're still not capable of quite picking all this stuff up yet. We're getting closer. Do that. There's a few things I probably want to grab, get going before I get too much further in here. So we'll go ahead. We'll drop our facilities down here real quick. I don't have any of those. I'm in the way. Stop. Oh, stop being in the way. There you go. Those guys in like that. I'm gonna put like this. We'll put you in there. We'll go ahead. We're gonna go in here, and we're gonna go logistics because that's a good thing to start with. And we're gonna go automation because that seems like a good thing to go with. So that was 20. All right, so that's all of them. So that should be our 30 guys that we built so far. You'll see these guys aren't going really fast. Maybe they are. They look like they were going slow. Yeah, they look like they're going slow, but they seem to be okay. They may have changed the animation. But yeah, we're okay. We could use some more on this run, but it's starting to back up now. So, and these things are only really going to kind of burn when they need to. So we have very little use or demand for electricity right now. So for the most part, we should be okay. Try to get us some more drills going here real quick. More drills. You know what? Just make all of them. That's fine. We'll just make all of them. We'll do that. We're gonna do this. I still have way too much stone. I'll end up throwing the stone probably into the facilities. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and make all of those. All right. So, like I said, if you do have a request for a specific mod or something like that, let me know. It's gonna be kind of a slow burn playthrough. We're not looking for anything massive. I'm not trying to go anything crazy. I just wanted to come back and just play Factorio, and just kind of let it figure out what it wants to do. If people chime in and want to see something else or wants us to go in a different direction, I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with whatever. I just want to build a factory. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go for now, and then we'll be back soon. Y'all be safe. Talk to y'all later.